Good morning. Welcome to Jasiri. This is the show that does not hold back. So if you want those bold, hot, hard-hitting, and emotional conversations, you are definitely in the right place. We come correct every time, and we're tuned into the heartbeat of every matter. So now that I've blown our trumpets more, ladies, how wanna see yesterday rain?
Can I comment on your come correct? I just love the way you pronounce it.
Come correct.
Yeah.
After,
it's okay.
After her and her Cameroonian sister were blowing French inside Jamaica.
She's, yeah, we see your bling. Wait, wow.
The real bling is outside the door. The real bling is coming, Lolo. Better put that down. The real bling is coming.
I just wanted everybody to know that if I do get a real diamond, it will be lovely on me.
I know.
Yeah,
actually.
so this is practice diamonds.
Because you wear them so well. Lolo, what's with all the jewelry? What's going
Tolu
on?
commanded
Because I said
she commanded it. Our producer commanded it.
Meanwhile, who commanded it is not even really, you know how you would take, you know that Owambe bling. I thought the way you commanded it, you would be here draped.
No, I'm leaving my own empty so that when she comes, she can put it on me.
Yeah. And then you say, who is Korede's mother? You say, who is Korede's mother, guys? Hello?
The tree does not fall far from the fruit.
Yes.
Does not far
and vice versa.
Please. Speaking of Corey, going back to this rain, I spent an hour and a half to get her to school yesterday. That's why I could not show up.
It was so...
An hour and a half.
And it
I
takes
hope
me
you're dressing
normally...
her warmly because
yes,
it's
and it takes me
cold.
normally 10 minutes from the time I enter my car to the time I drop her. An hour and a half yesterday.
Wow. Honestly.
How were the roads on your end?
Horrible. Adelabu was flooded. It got to a point that I thought so 2 cars had broken down. Then I now found out there was a bus with school kids that had entered a hole because they couldn't see the road. Broken down. The school kids were stuck in the bus in the hole. It was bad. Like the water was... I can't. Like I don't... The anxiety I had yesterday driving. So Adelabu was completely flooded. So I was not like, okay, what's going to happen? And then
Jesus.
you now see Nigerians, people who have like Jeeps or whatever, passing by. As they pass, they're causing the water.
The
The car
water
was
to
moving.
flush, yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? Yes, I know we all want to rush, but let's be mindful here.
And they just, do you know, they drive past you without even...
Nothing.
They don't even look at you.
Nobody else is on the road except them. I mean,
Blessings was saying something yesterday about the water upwards. Please, did you say Jesus when you were driving? When the water, you said the water was
no, because
upward.
I've been in that situation before, so I was just like, so my fear was I don't want this car to break down.
I'm telling you.
Because I'm not coming down from this car.
I'm telling you.
If it breaks down, I will just
You'll
lie
cry
down and
inside the
sleep.
car. No,
Honestly, because it was so full. And then as you're going, you're seeing cars breaking down beside you, and I'm like, please, Lord,
Did you
please.
sing Jesus take the wheel?
I don't know what I was thinking. I was just praying that. So then I got to her school and I checked the map. The map was telling me an hour to office. I was like, it's a lie. Because when I went on Twitter and I saw Ikorodu Road, I said, it's not me and you. I won't make it. Then I might lose my car. And I lost a car to the floods 2 years ago when Marina was flooded. Wow. I was actually trying to get home. It took me like 5 to 6 hours to get home. By the time I was getting home, I was bailing water out of my front seat and the back seat. Even yesterday when I was now passing to get back home, because I stayed in her school parking lot, I just sat down. That's why I was doing a lot of work, because I'm like, I cannot hit the road. I don't know when Adelabu is going to be lighter. So I just stayed there, was working, started eating my lunch as well. When I was now going back home, passing the canal, that's when I now started seeing water. If you see the way I was honking, because there are certain places that you stop and you measure. You want to measure if I can go. I want to pass through. I don't want to get stuck. Because that's what affects some cars. When they get stuck too long in the water and it's able to really seep in. People are honking behind me. I say, you people come and fly. Nothing will push me forward until I see water. What are we talking about?
And then the water cost a lot of, so even places that were not flooded had a lot of traffic. I mean, I was telling you that just the bridge that leads up to the office, when I was approaching the bridge, I just brought out my phone, opened Netflix, and then I started watching.
She said so.
Because I was there, I left the house, usually it takes me 30 minutes to get here. I left the house around 7:30-ish. I was still on the road at 8, and then from 8 to 9. I got in at 9. From 8 to 9, I was on the road leading to the office.
Yeah, that's
This one here.
The bridge.
This road here.
That crosses over
that enters through the gate, 1 hour.
Wow.
I was seeing in fact, at some point I was seeing the office.
The challenge I had is that I saw some places that were touted as flooded. I had an event yesterday. It was so In fact, before we could even have the conference was supposed to start at 10.
Yeah.
I don't even think we started until about 12:30. And even at that, it was still, it was such a heavy day. But by the time we were returning home, honestly, I drove through Lagos to Aja free, kind of. I was a bit worried that...
Where's everybody?
Where's the water?
Where is the water first? So that means some areas that were... Because they said the Waroshoki was...
So let's talk about that, because Tokunbo Wahab, the Commissioner for Environment, actually tweeted about that yesterday, and he talked about the crew that got out there to Iyanaworo area. Yes. He said the Olokwa Meji. Yeah, Jesus. Olokwa Meji. Yeah, Jesus. Please, I'm so sorry. Inward third mainland situation is a flash flood that is due to the high intensity of the rain. Long duration of the rain coupled with high tidal lagoon level at the moment. Be rest assured it will go away in about 1 to 2 hours. As the high tidal level of the lagoon goes down, the rain storm water will be able to discharge into the lagoon. This rain started overnight Tuesday. Rain all day. So of course he's right. A lot of it did eventually was able to go and move freely. But there's just a lot of stuff that we need to talk about in this. So this same Tokunbo Wahab, he actually tweeted, I think about a few days ago, about a driver that was arrested dumping stuff on the road.
I was going to go there, Tolu, because
I have to go.
I know that a lot of time we say that the government are to blame for this, but sometimes we are the enemies of ourselves. Because you will still see people, they think they're taking advantage of the rain by throwing their trash into the water, thinking that the waters will carry it
away.
But it goes to block some of the places. And now, I still see a lot of plastic waste.
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And then when it rains, the water like brings it all
Everything
together
to
and then blocks a place.
And so let's talk about this family too. This house now has been sealed by Loma, but this picture was shared by a Nigerian in Surulere, somewhere in Ikate yesterday, who said that the people in this house just poured their waste into the street water.
How?
So it's raining. It's flooding. You now thought that was the best time for you to pour your waste into the street. Tokunbo Wahab replied, put Loma on it and a number of other people, and I think within about 4 or 5 hours, the house was sealed. So we don't even know if these are the main occupants of the house or if they have now even affected their other occupants of the house. But people were really applauding them for this, and I do appreciate the fact that they moved very quickly in this regard, sealed it up straight.
Yeah, I love
but there were now some even further questions as to, okay, you've demolished a lot of places. Why are we still seeing flooding? Let's not forget that it's not just in certain areas that the demolishments were happening, and all of it is not complete. And he said yesterday, he said, we are still coming.
It's not complete because I went through, which area did I pass recently that was not somewhere I usually would go? Honestly, they need to demolish some more places because I could see houses and you will see a pathway for a canal, but they had narrowed the canal into a very small space
that they're still dumping
things in. They're still dumping stuff in it. I hadn't rain. I just pointed to it. I said, you see, if they come here and they demolish, people will scream. But this is a disaster waiting to happen.
Absolutely. And there are many like that. Look at this house that was just sealed at Ijesha area of Lagos, Ikati area of Lagos. That's just one in thousands. Yes. And people who see that say, thank God, it's not my portion. And we do that so easily.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not my portion. Thank God, it's not my portion. Some would borrow a leaf from that. Others will just say, well, it can't
who they catch.
And number one, this is not the first time that people are dumping their trash when it's raining, especially when it's flooding. And that's the only, like she said, now who they catch. Those are the ones we saw. There's so many other people that still did that. So it's not even just the fact that they are narrowing this canal to a very tiny passage. There's also the fact that it's narrow and then it's now filled with trash that is going ahead to block roads. So
do you know now that these floods are, we're battling cholera? Do you know what can happen? A lot of people, when we talk about hygiene, people think that we're just touting it or talking. If you know what COVID, for those who COVID affected personally,
and they
do not have a good story to tell. Imagine we're having flooding, rains in the middle of this cholera outbreak. Children are trudging through the water. You pass through your own house. Sometimes when you get home, you probably will have to walk to the bathroom to be able to wash your legs.
I fell in the gutter one time. I almost drank antiseptic. It was that bad. As in, the way I felt. And so I'm there when I was driving Korodeshi, I decided to lay down and actually go to sleep. I just saw these school children pass and I'm like, are we really doing this?
Listen.
Because another thing someone tweeted yesterday was like, Lagos should have declared a state of emergency and closed schools yesterday and told people stay at home. Children stay at home. If you want to try to go on the road, that's on you. But for children, stay at home because we have had a situation where school children were swept away because of flooding.
Yes. Yeah. I was getting there yesterday. I passed by the. I normally don't talk to the cab drivers, but till I began to talk in the car, he didn't believe it. I had never seen the canal filled with water like that. My sisters. I began to panic. I was just imagining children walking to school by themselves. And because of the flooding, the floods eating up the road. So the road is chopping up.
You don't know where the gutter is. You don't know where the hole is.
Yes. And I am even beginning to suspect. Because along my own axis on that Ajah, there are some boys that have christened themselves turning boys of Lagos. Turning boys of Lagos. What they do, you know, when government has blocked a place, they would break some of the
and then you give them money to pass,
and they would pay, and people can illegally pass. And I can assure you that sometimes security agencies are there and they catch you when you do it. But do you know that these days you are seeing phantom holes everywhere?
That just spring up.
I want to believe, allegedly, I suspect that sometimes they might be digging some of these holes.
On purpose.
On purpose, because if there is a breakdown, those are places they eat from. Because you will go past there today and you will see tomorrow 1, 2, 3, 4. And have you tried Ozumba of late?
It's a horrible situation.
Horrible situation from Chevron. You will see just little holes smack in the middle of the road. And you're wondering, how can this hole just appear?
Because you just passed there yesterday. It wasn't
there. So now it's like this to drive. Now imagine when there is rain. Anybody living in Ajah knows that Ajah to the right, you cannot even pass to under bridge. It's so dangerous. I do not even know. Whatever we're going to do for this rainy season, we really have to start to think. Maybe even some of us, that's if we can even make it to work on some days.
They've been clearing canals around a lot of places, even leading up to the office. And sometimes, unfortunately, you're clearing the canal. They want it to dry because they don't. It's heavier when it's wet before they come back. But the rain meets it and pushes it back into the gutter, into whatever it is. There's a lot of work that Lagos State needs to do. We see the work that they're doing, but because of the dangerousness of these situations, people remember snakes and was it crocodiles or alligators the last time we had serious floods. So we are really, really calling on the state government to make sure they are attending to this as quickly as possible. And we see a commissioner that's up and doing. So we hope that he feels more of the pressure and it makes him act. But before we wrap this up, yesterday was also a day that probably tested many HR people across the city of Lagos. Dear HR was trending, a trending series of tweets. And to lighten things up before we go on a break, let's see what the people had to say. HR was tired yesterday.
It trended.
Dear HR, one of your employees will not be coming to the Lekki office today because there is rain. And once there is rain in Lekki, that area will be in a state of emergency. Yours faithfully, Mayowa. Who else was there? Dear HR, I tried leaving the house, but the flood has stopped our vehicle. I alighted so I could help fix it, but the flood swept me off my feet and carried me home. Dear HR, as you can see, the rain is falling and you can't lie, it's not raining in your area. I live in Ikpaja and I'll have to pass through Ikeja, Alapere, Bagada, Lekki, Lagos. The roads are in a state of emergency and I'm feeling sleepy. We see tomorrow at work.
Your employee. Dear HR, let's not lie, this rain is much. Even online, it's raining heavily, it's falling heavily. You said stay at home. Thank you, warm regards. Signed, your faithful employee.
Shebi, you see
Thank you, dear HR.
There's this one that I thought I was going to see. That was like the most popular tweet. It said, dear HR, except you want to lie, you cannot swear that this rain is not falling in your area. You're sincerely like, that's all. Let's tell ourselves the truth.
But honestly, this rain, like 2 of my staff today slept in the office yesterday because they couldn't go home yesterday.
Where?
The rains, the road.
Yeah. So, I've told you guys that I think people should pack a rain bag. A toothbrush, some kind of blanket, a change of clothes. So if you have a car, wherever your car is, if it's the office and you don't have a car, keep it. Because the day you may not be able to go home. It might be safer to sleep there, wake up, do whatever you need to do in the morning and leave. But HR also has a response before we go on that. What did HR have to say? Dear Lola, I just checked through your file. I discovered that you wrote swimming as your... I'll be on your CV. Therefore, I expect you to do the needful. Have a productive day at work, please. Inside HR. Oh,
They
man.
said swim.
Swim for your life.
Swim of life.
As your hobby.
And now, please,
So-
parents need to be more deliberate about their children. Because a lot of times we just leave that to chance. This is not the time that you just wear anyhow clothes for your children. Make sure you dress them warmly. Because when the rains come, it comes with flu, it comes with cough, catarrh, and a lot of all those things.
cholera.
Warm things in
And
the
cholera.
morning.
And
Yeah.
please, guys, please don't let your children go out to school in the rain. If they're going to school on foot, which is okay in some parts because the school is not far from the house.
from the
I think
house.
God beguna. This rain, hey,
I
this
saw
thing that
what-
they say in their HR tweet, it can carry person picking.
See, what they call flash flood is an amount of water that, like, it's just raining, but within seconds, I've been caught. I grew up in Tennessee, and there are so many flash floods that come. You'll just see a bridge that you pass. By the time you come back, if you pass that bridge, he's bye-bye. Because the way the water will take you over. So we also underestimate the strength of the water.
Yeah.
So this is our warning. Parents, adults, children, whatever it is,
Honest.
let us
You know,
be all very careful this season.
I did see this and I found it so cute.
But when you're walking inside the water, how cute is it?
They have rainbows on actually.
There's this one I don't know why we don't have that, but there's this one I saw where the HR and the employee were communicating
Back
with
and
emojis.
forth.
So the employee just wrote "Dear HR" and put the emoji of rain, and then the HR responded with umbrella. And then it responded again with flood, and it responded with a boat.
No one's
Come to work. Anyways, after the break, you're going to be bedazzled, like Lolo is trying to be. It's an attempt at it, because our guest is not only bringing the bling, she is the bling. Now, if that's gotten you a little curious, then you want to stick around for when Jasiri returns. Stay with us.
Listen me.
Diamonds are forever. You're going to find out why. Now, welcome back. We're streaming live on our social media platforms. We are at News Central TV. Use the Jasiri hashtag to be part of our conversations. Now, they say diamonds. That's why you see my neck is bare. I should even take off my ring. Because the things I want to try today. They say that diamonds are a girl's best friend. Now, for centuries, diamonds have been regarded as a love-bearing crystal. But beyond the emotional investment it entails, diamonds are a billion-dollar business, providing jobs and income across various levels of the value chain. Well, this morning, we've got a special guest whose love for diamonds began at a very young age, and she has successfully turned that passion into profit. Joining us on Jasiri is a luxury jeweler and diamonds entrepreneur and the CEO of Mia's Link, Mayomi Ogedengbe. Welcome to Jasiri.
Hello. Nice to meet you
Yes,
guys.
She's blinging, guys.
And black is the perfect, color to set it off.
Because it's like just take your focus off the dress and
Exactly.
look at
That was what I had in mind.
this. Thank you for joining us,
Thank
Miami.
you.
You're pretty, by the way, and I'm
Thank
going to say it
you.
again. You look a lot like Tiwa Savage.
I was telling someone I hear that a lot. But it's usually when I just have my glam on.
And you kind of sound alike, actually.
You know, they have that soft voice.
Do you ever yell?
It's like a rich voice.
Sometimes.
It's a rich voice.
I know
Sometimes.
they're like
How can
that
she be selling
because
diamonds and be loud?
and be loud. They're rich together.
It's the feminine energy.
It's the feminine.
Okay.
I agree with that.
All right. So, Miami, I mean, this business is
Yeah.
not new to you, so to speak, because it's kind of ingrained in your life. Because
Yeah.
we hear your mother was also, in the business of blinging. She was a diamond jeweler as well. What would you say that you
Not
have
what
learned?
she still is.
So you're competing you're competing against your mom.
I won't call it competition. It's we have
Collaboration.
collaboration, and we have two different audiences.
Miami, Joshua, she needs 35 carat jewelry.
But what is it that you have learned from watching her do business and then you becoming a jeweler yourself and then having to collaborate with someone you learned from making money?
I mean, I would say with my mom, it's a passion, her drive for moving this business along. Even when we started, I mean, even before she went into the jewelry business, she loved wearing jewelry. It was a thing, before she decided, what, since I love wearing this so much, people love me wearing this, why don't I just sell this to my friends? And honestly, that's how she started. And I kind of saw the way she carried the business along and how she was able to introduce it to her friends, and also bring people that didn't really believe in jewelry or gold. Also, create that, how do you even put it, like comfortability, niche into that industry. And but me coming into the business, what I saw was that obviously she didn't really have, or the brand, because I'm also associated with that brand too, but we didn't really cater to a lot of young people my age, and we didn't really cater to a lot of, with the Gen Zs coming now, you know, and this was where I came in, and this is where I decided, okay, you know, rather than just continue with a line, why don't I build a bridge?
Explore a different,
you know, and then explore a different target audience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. You know, when we talk about the jewelry business or diamond industry, what's the most exciting thing about it? Is it the craft that goes into it, or the stone themselves, or just seeing it in people? You know, it must have nuances.
Yes, I think for me, it's really the creative aspect of it. And that was actually how I got into it. I wanted to be behind the scene. I wanted to design.
You design
Yeah,
too?
we design majority of our pieces.
Wow.
I'm just waiting to open the box.
We design majority of our pieces. So, you know, from the colors, from choosing the colors. So say a customer comes in now, they're like, you know, I want to make an engagement ring. You know, what you have already, maybe it's not something that I want. We get the idea, we draw it out, we do a 3D, we present it, and we just go from there. And that's actually what I enjoy doing the most. It's not necessarily the selling. Obviously, I love selling. I love making money. Yeah. But I love the designing aspect. I love the personal touch that we bring to everything that we sell. So I'll say that's probably the most exciting for me.
Wow.
So wait, do you only wear diamonds?
Because I sell diamonds.
Wow. It's the way she answered.
Because I mean, I'm trying to sell it, so you know. So.
I like your nature.
So in this business, and for as long as you've been doing, you grew up watching your mom do it. So it's kind of, I think it becomes intrinsic after a certain period of time. So of course, I think you just go with what's already in you. Take for example this one. She wasn't there when her mom was teaching how to sew, but because she was there, she invited it, and she sews Bazinga beautifully. I want to say something else, but so in this line of your work, let me ask you if you remember the most memorable or the most unique request you've ever received from a client, and possibly maybe the highest value that
you want to get into trade secrets.
Yeah.
So I might not mention the value, but around it. So
Saudi Sheikh.
I would say actually no, it's even simpler than that. I think I've had so many. I have so many fun memories of the things that I've created for people. But I think it was the first engagement ring that I made for, it was a customer who wanted to make this engagement ring for his now wife. And he came into the store, he said obviously he's been dating this girl for 6 years, but he doesn't know when he's going to get married to her, but he just wants to make this ring. But he knows he's going to marry this girl, and because he's Yoruba, she's Igbo. And they were having this thing with the family, and they were not, so he knows it was going to happen, but he just doesn't know when. But he wants to make that ring. And there was a lot of details that went into it, with a birthstone, the kind of shape that she likes, It wasn't a very big ring, but it was just it's the detailing. It's also the story that goes into it, And it was the first ring that I created. So I made it, I remade it twice. Not because, I didn't even show him when I was making it, but because when I first made the first one, I couldn't picture what information that I got from him. You know what I mean? Now it's a different story. You tell me something that is very easy to, but it's honestly, it's just that personal touch that went into that. That's actually one of my favorite. That was like, not only, but that's one, if not the most. Yes.
So
honestly, it wasn't even that expensive. This was like 2007, early 2017. So let's say, I think it was close to. I don't want to say because the wife doesn't know, but I'm sure she knows who I'm talking about. I mean, they know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so,
but we get the picture.
Yes, but it wasn't cheap.
I think that helps now.
No, it doesn't help you.
It wasn't cheap.
So,
but
Mayumi, let's
yes.
get a little bit deeper into this business part of it, because there are like 4 main groups of dealers in the diamond business, as we've been told. We could be wrong, and that's why you're here. So there are miners and producers, cutters and polishers, jewelry manufacturers, and of course the retail end of things. Now, over the years, we've seen that the lines have blurred, with dealers playing in more than one category. When you look at the value chain, is our value chain correct? Okay, good. So when you look at the value chain and how it functions, talk about the value chain in Nigeria. How has it changed? How has it grown? How has it manifested, you know? Yeah.
Okay, so I would say a lot of the people in this industry, I would say we're more retailers. But because of how I started, like I said, as a designer, so we deal directly with manufacturers. So we deal with the creative part. Sometimes we're in the manufacturing room as it's being done, not in Nigeria. But I think with a lot of resources that's been done in Nigeria now, I think people are actually getting into wanting to start from scratch, which is getting the stone from here, getting the gold from here. I don't really know much about it because, there's a lot of ethical considerations to think about. So we haven't, we haven't actually gone into that yet, but it's something we're looking to in the future if all the policies and everything is in place. But, I see how people are actually, they're mining, they're getting the resources, and they're actually manufacturing Nigeria, but we just don't do that. Okay. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question.
It does, and it's interesting to me because I know, as you said, the considerations, the ethical considerations, there are conversations around how diamonds are, when I say harvested or mined, especially across the continent. Right. But we've been seeing lab-grown diamonds. Is that something that has started to sort of impact your business?
I think with the young, I would say with the young market, I think with a younger audience, maybe, because first of all, they don't want to spend so much money. And if it's not something that we actually stock, but we have customers who request for it.
And lab-grown diamonds.
Yes, and we would make it for you. It's just not, because that's not how I started with natural. So with lab-grown, obviously lab-grown, it's just what it is. It's grown in a lab. It's not natural, but it's literally the same. It looks the same. The brilliance is the same. The fire is the same. The facets are the same, but the value is way different. And obviously, it has no resellable value. So you can get, like I said, the bigger the stones are, the more expensive they are. So say you have a 2-carat stone, for instance, and you have a 2-carat stone you can get based on if the quality is right in a natural diamond, you can go from like maybe $15,000 to maybe $30,000, depending on the clarity or the carat. But you're looking at lab grown, maybe 2 carats is like maybe like $2,000 or maybe $1,500. But then you can't do anything with it afterwards. It's just a stone.
So very quickly, speaking of resellable value, I mean, you have seen the value of diamonds grow and maybe fluctuate along the way, and investing in diamonds, like major diamond, is not, for the faint-hearted. But many people still don't understand the importance of investing in diamonds because most people don't think that it does have resellable value. When you ask most people, the first thing that comes to their mind is gold. Oh, gold has resellable value, but diamond may not necessarily have. It's just for adornment and, of course, for it to run in the family. So why would you say that? What is the importance of investing in diamonds? And what is the guarantee that, it does have, because now you're saying it varies, so it's like, if you don't have a certain limit, just don't buy it because it doesn't have resellable value.
So when I say it doesn't, it does have resellable value. Like I said, it depends on the kind of, like lab grown doesn't. I mean, it's a growing market now. Like I said, like there's a market for it, but like we just don't stock it. But natural diamonds is what we sell. So those have resellable values. I don't know where people get that idea from. I think, like I said, it's when you're wearing, there's some certain jewelry that are donned or that are mounted with the tiny ones. They give it back to you to obviously mount on something else, which is still usable on like a lab-grown diamonds. But like I said, if you start from like 0.5 carats of stone, those are resellable. They're still tiny, but they're resellable. They're still more expensive than gold regardless. It's just gold.
More expensive than what did you say?
Than gold.
Because our mothers have all the gold. And I'm like,
no.
What are you going to will it to me?
So I don't know how to describe. So it's like, obviously, you're not going to have a diamond without it being mounted on gold. Yes. So it's like you're having both of them together. Gold like you said, is resellable at any point.
Yeah.
You can, it's like quick cash.
It's like metal.
It's liquidable.
Gold is liquid.
It's movable.
So can people wear gold? And some people like to mix and match, which
Yeah.
I'm coming to. This is this question off the cuff of my head. Like, some people like to mix and match, wear gold and silver. Do people wear gold and diamonds, or you're just saying, it's gold, stay far away from the diamond because I'm not in the same category? Do people really can match gold? Because there are people who go extra.
Honestly, I don't know who I know that has done that. Like, who go gold. Do you mean white gold or just as in silver in terms of material? Like
people
people
who really mix
confuse-
and match their gold.
Yeah,
they wear
people-
gold, white gold, they wear yellow gold.
Oh no, I do that.
I'm interested in what you want to say just now. Like, people confuse the color.
Yes, the color.
Gold, yes.
So we have a lot of customers that they want to buy gold, but they're calling it silver, but they want to say white gold. But they know they want it 18 karat, but they want, because they definitely don't want to buy that other element, which is the material, which is silver, but they still call it silver, but I know they're looking for white gold. So like, I don't, in terms of color, when you're wearing jewelry, honestly, I go all out. Like, I can do yellow, white, rose. There's black gold. There's brown
There's
gold.
what?
Black gold.
So yes, the surface material is definitely yellow. So there's something that actually changes the color to rhodium. That's why sometimes if you buy white, if you wear it after a time, it fades back to yellow. I don't know if you've noticed, mostly with engagement rings, because after you wear it for some time, it starts changing back to yellow. Just take it back to the manufacturer, they'll dip it back, it turns to white. Because naturally, the element itself is yellow.
Yeah, it's gold.
But they
It's
just
gold.
put some pigments on it.
Exactly. So then it makes it white.
Maybe
It
that's
makes
why
it-
some people do not like to change the color, because
Yeah.
it looks like you bought fake gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it won't, like I said, unless you're wearing it every day, which is like engagement ring, it's rubbing on things, you're taking your shower with it
washing,
sometimes. Exactly, you're washing. And then it's after like a long period of time. You're talking about 2,
No, I'm happy
3
because my white
years.
gold has stayed white.
Yeah. You're talking about 2-3 years, and I'm talking, when it changes, it's like very, maybe you're the only person who probably notice.
Absolutely.
So,
Okay, Marmy, let's take a break because I want to do something, but I need a break to Wait, we're going for a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the business of diamonds.
Styling.
Be something I would spend money.
Hey, please,
Mr. B,
you people should not talk to me anyhow.
listen.
My goodness. It even comes with
My
attitude.
hands are hurting me.
My God. Lolo, are you okay?
To carry my hand. Catherine, don't talk to me.
Don't talk to
Lolo,
me.
can you,
I'm
remove,
shouting.
can you remove the ring, Lolo, so we can see the real diamond?
Yes, please. This is practice. Let's not
Please,
devalue.
please. People who wear
No,
diamonds
look at
don't
my
shout.
hand.
People
in
who wear
close up.
diamonds
How
don't
does it
shout.
feel on your wrist?
My neck
Honestly,
is
there is.
Your neck is cold.
cold. My neck is cold. I'm feeling cold. Oh my God, my ears are heavy.
Now I know what they mean by you can actually, become obsessed. Do you know how I feel? There's just something like power that comes from wearing original things like gold, diamonds that are really real. Do you know that green out? I can actually hear squiggle behind my ear.
Okay, so
we gotta move on because of time.
This one on the table is obviously a different kind of structure from.
Can you hold it up a little towards the camera?
Abe.
Yeah, so they can see. Yeah. So you were saying to us during the break that this is from your mom.
Yes, this is from my mom's collection.
Okay. And then this what I'm wearing, or me and Lola are wearing, are from what you do. So obviously, I was saying during the break, our generation or Gen Zs or what, they're not gonna go for what was traditional, the settings and the designs. They want things sleeker and things like
Lighter, stylish.
Wow.
I
said, don't talk to me anyhow.
I did listen.
Producer, don't talk in my ear.
I've always
What do
wondered.
I have to do to get you?
Catherine, ask your question, please.
I've always wondered, because the way they are gushing and the way they're feeling, and what Lolo said is actually correct. There's a feeling that comes with when you know what you're wearing. I know that you recently styled Stephanie Coker and Toke Makiwa for the AMVCAs. How does that process work? I mean,
This is I think our second time doing it. So sometimes they reach out to us, which is their stylist, or we reach out to them, and we also usually we go for people that we know that obviously their sort of values align with the things, because you also want it to be believable. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like once this is, you're seeing it on them, you're going, okay, I want what she's wearing, you know, and it's also believable that this is what she can wear, what she can buy, and so it's just we work with a stylist, you know. They sent me the overall look, and then and then I pick. I go with what I think will match what they're wearing, what I think goes with the look as well, with the dress, with the color. I mean, you're seeing white now. We have them in different colors.
I was gonna ask, how many colors do diamonds come in?
No, diamonds. So diamonds actually. So you have yellow. You have many colors.
And those are also original.
They're also
authentic
original
to the earth.
They're authentic. They're natural diamonds. But obviously, white diamonds are the most popular. So I would say the other colors are probably a little bit more rare. So what we do is, so it looks like a different color, but it's the gold that's actually different.
Okay, sort of like a reflection. Or
so it's like so if I bring like a rose gold, for instance, like okay, this is a rose gold, right? But this is a rose gold ring. But the colors, there's white diamonds on it, but you can't tell it's white because it's blending with. Because I mean, diamonds are translucent, right?
Translucent.
So obviously,
on.
So it's taking on the color of the gold. Okay. So you wouldn't know that it's not pink diamonds or yellow diamonds or you know any other color. But mostly, a lot of people prefer white, especially when you're starting. You want people to know you're wearing diamonds. So you want. So you want it to be white. It's like when people buy gold, the first thing they do is they always buy yellow. They'll buy yellow. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Mayomi, because of time, I'll ask, because I think that anybody watching this now would be like, okay, so this is even a possible industry, a line of work. Let me face you. A line of work that they could get, you know, into, make money from, show their creative process and all that. Let me come back. So what advice would you give aspiring entrepreneurs in the jewelry business, jewelry designers, and of course creatives in this business?
And do you mentor?
It's not something we do at the moment, but it's something that I am looking to do in the future.
Because you can't be the only one. It can't just be you and Mom.
No,
we want you to, especially as Nigeria does have some, at least a bit of reserves.
I mean, we'll do trainings as well. We're hoping that obviously people that work for us, they can learn from us, grow from us, and if they decide that, you know, this is what they want to do, we're obviously willing to help. The people that have been working with us now since we opened, since inception. So, Jewelry Affair has been there for over almost 20 years, 2 decades. And
so how about yours?
Mayor's 2016.
Okay. She's about to hit 10 years soon.
About to hit 10.
So what's the advice for?
So I would say, you know, before you start, obviously, I mean, first of all, it's obviously resilience, and you have to be persistent about and also try to look for something that sets you apart from, you know, what others are already doing. Because like I said, it's a growing industry. So it's like when you come into the industry, what else can you bring? You know, it's not just about selling diamonds. Like I said, the creative part of it helps a lot because then you cannot just sell what someone else already has. You know, look into, you know, like travel a lot, go for exhibitions. Exhibition helps. You meet a lot of retailers, you meet a lot of manufacturers, you know, and just also look for ways to be more innovative in terms of, you know, and use technologies at our disposal right now. And, you know,
make it something you're very interested in.
Yes, make it not just, to me, it's not just a buying and selling. It's not just a business. It's, like I said, it's the branding. You know, just make it something that's about you. But also, that's also what you're passionate about. You know, and
so, you know, all those weddings that they'll say a groom brought a gift for the bride.
Oh, no, are you okay? She's not okay.
I can't be.
You don't understand. She's not okay.
I can hear Smiggle behind me like she's a whole
Mayomi, I want to say thank you for having me. Shining bright like a diamond. Making Lolo is looking like. Lolo, it's okay. We've seen, you can put the hand now. You can put it down.
This is a moment to treasure.
Oh my God. Oh Lord, thank you for making women shine like bright like diamonds. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you on this Jasiri table with us.
It's been a pleasure being with you girls.
Even if you like, greet her more than that.
Let's go for it.
No, it's like we will start doing it just so we can invest in
my sister, they are just going to how many years?
No, we don't. You know, there can be this kind
of... No, she can sell us earring.
Guys are going on a short break. We'll be right back. Jasiri will continue right back after this. Let's organize the lady.
Yes, please. Let's return.
Lolo.
May I always be rich.
Lolo, are you back with us?
Sorry.
Thank you so much. All right. We're wrapping up today's show just a little bit early because we do have a very special coming to you, a very special live coming to you right now. You see, the diamonds are tripping me up. Like, my ears are heavy, my neck is cold.
I know. How does one to go to Obambe like this? You will not be
Eh?
touching anybody.
No, 35 bodyguard.
Excuse me, please. We need to go somewhere. So as we're wrapping up today's Jasiri, we're heading to Kano right now, where our team is part of a courtesy visit by the Kano State Commissioner for Information, Halilu Baba Dantiya, who's paying a courtesy call on the newly appointed Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, to congratulate him on his appointment. News Central is part of the entourage with our correspondents, and of course, we're bringing you the details. From here on out, the ladies are out. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. It's Friday. We'll see you guys. Please, we head to Kano. Bye-bye.